Okay, let's go.
Hey friends, I'm here with a familiar face. We are at Niagara College with Scott Golem, and we are going to check out the brand new greenhouse here. I'm super excited to go tour through this with Scott. For you guys who are the super nerds of the home growing community, this episode is going to be for you. So,
welcome everybody. I'm Scott Golem, the Associate Director of the Horticultural and Environmental Sciences Innovation Center, or HESIC, here at Niagara College. So I'm going to bring you guys to the greenhouse and super excited.
Awesome. Let's go do it. Sounds good. Go
so
ahead.
Before we go in, biosecurity is a really big thing here. So what we need to do is make sure that we always put on lab coats, clean our shoes, clean our hands, things like that before we go into the facility. Everything's very tightly controlled for research, so swipe access everywhere. So start out, we got the boot cleaner here. Just going to sanitize your hands and then walk through, clean your boots.
We're clean and ready to go.
So welcome to the greenhouse. It's a pretty big research facility here. So overall, what we have are 5 individual bays. What we tried to do here was take a commercial greenhouse and scale it down to a smaller, manageable size so we could still replicate commercial greenhouses and make that research relevant. So you see a lot of research that comes out of universities, things like that, where it's done in a growth chamber. It's very highly controlled areas. But when you come to a greenhouse, the temperature, everything goes all over the place. So we needed to kind of be able to bring a real world live environment into this. So our first bay here is our hydroponic bay. So what we have over here is ebb and flood tables. So what these are going to do is sub-irrigate. So when it waters, the tray fills up with water. It's going to bottom water. The plants will wick that water up, and then it kind of drains back to a reservoir. The way this is set up is that we have 4 individual tables so that we can basically do 4 different nutrient reservoir trials at any given time. In the middle here, we have our nutrient film technique, or NFT. So what this is basically just troughs where water runs through just in a couple centimeters deep. The roots grow down into that liquid nutrient water, and they grow without kind of any other media. So you see a lot of leafy greens, herbs, things done like that in this style right now. Over here we have scales. They're called drought spotter scales, and what they allow me to do is precision irrigation. So I can do really dialed in drought stress tolerance. So if I want to say water a plant 1 to 3 grams of water, I can do that, and I can not let any water happen until it's dried down to a specific point. So I think there's a lot of potential here with different crops going forward, and really dialing in what does that irrigation cycle look like going forward. When you look up here, we have each bay has its own temperature, humidity, and CO2 control. On the ceiling here, we have solemn lights. So these are spectrum adjustable lights. So I can dial in how much red, blue, far red, and white light that I want to kind of interact with the sun and do a lot of trials that way. So we're starting to see a lot of different crops that we're finding different light spectrums really impact how that plant grows. So you can make plants stretch, stay more compact, all with just changing around a little bit of light.
Very cool.
So our irrigation setup over here. So what it is a direct injection system. So I have my A/B fertilizer as well as my acid. So I can basically set in my Hogendoren control system. I want to say send out a 2.5 EC to my crop, as well as say a pH of 5.8, and it'll basically mix that in line and send it out to the table. So I can do each individual table or setup as a different feed if I want to. This piece of equipment I'm super excited for. What it is basically a 3D plant scanner. So it scans a plant. I'll set the plants down here. It'll create a 3D scanned model of that plant for me, and it works on hyperspectral imaging. So it's going to have multiple spectrums of light that come through. So really the benefit of this is I can put a plant down here and say I'm doing a nutrient deficiency trial. What I can do is basically scan that plant, and even if the plant looks green to me under different wavelengths of light, that's when you start to see the impact of different things happening. So I can see nutrient stress, drought stress, kind of all these different things long before they visibly show up to the naked eye.
And how many of these in Canada?
I think this is the second one as far as I know from who we've talked to so far. So very excited for this one, and it's going to be a lot of cool things coming out of that. This next bay here is our high pressure sodium bay. So a lot of greenhouses are still using high pressure sodium or HPS lights, those orangey lights that you see in greenhouses. A lot of people haven't switched over, so we wanted to have at least one bay that could still replicate that commercial environment for those people. So right now we're just kind of in the midst of setting up a trial, making sure everything's working before we get it going, and looking really good going forward. This one has expanded mesh benches in it. So what we're going to do with that is keeps it very flexible. I can grow really any type of crop on this thing. So again, because we're a research facility, we do a whole variety of things. We do floriculture, we do vegetables, I'll do fruit, cannabis. So it's kind of an all over the place. Anything that's a plant, I will grow it.
Do you have a favorite child?
Favorite trial? Right now, the pepper trial I think that we're doing is probably my favorite going forward right now. But I do have a cannabis breeding trial that's coming up. So again, cannabis is close to my heart for everything. So that one I'm probably the most excited for.
I was hoping that would be the answer.
Yeah.
You know.
So this one here, we have basically different floriculture crops in here right now. This is our LED bay. So again, spectrum adjustable lights. Everything's pretty much the same in most of these bay setups. Again, expanded mesh benches here. Keep it as flexible as we can going forward. This one here is our high wire bay. So you see a lot of commercial peppers, cucumbers, and tomatoes grown this way, as well as a little bit of eggplant these days. So I just have my staff in here. We're pruning these peppers today. The cool part about being a research facility is we can do a lot of things that commercial growers don't want to do. So in this trial here, what we're doing is working with a breeding company to test different varieties. And we're looking at fusarium or root rot in peppers. So peppers have gone through a lot of things recently where you've had large scale kind of wipeouts of crops. It's killed all the plants from getting that fusarium in there. So I'm working with a breeder right now where we're basically taking varieties that are supposed to be resistant to fusarium and infecting them with that disease and seeing what that output is on kind of the yield and how those plants survive. This final bay is the one probably I'm most excited about. It's currently in the midst of about to go under a retrofit. So this one will be our cannabis bay. I'm currently looking right now at going through a little bit of a retrofit. We're going to be taking this apart a little bit, shortening a couple benches, building a drying room within this greenhouse bay here, putting some fans on the wall for exhaust and airflow, as well as scent mitigation. It's very important here at the college. But I'm thinking once we get this up and running, we should have a commercial density of about just over 700 plants in this space. So really excited for breeding and kind of what we can do going forward with that.
But don't get excited, because what happens to all this cannabis?
Since it's research, it goes in the garbage.
Not just in the garbage, though.
Yes,
it's destroyed.
It gets
first.
destroyed. You know,
don't be dumpster diving at Niagara College.
Yeah. So denatured, usually with cat litter or vinegar, things like that, to make it a nice, gross thing that you don't want to smoke. And unfortunately, that's where research cannabis goes. Yeah. Downside of research. Piggyback on this far side here, we have a walk-in cooler. So a lot of our kind of harvest things we do for all our different vegetables, produce, things like that, will go into this walk-in cooler. And then probably the room I'm most excited about is our vertical grow room. So you're seeing a lot of crops starting to be grown vertically. It's not just in greenhouses, seeing a lot of warehouse production going on now. So come on in here. I'm not sure how the camera will adjust to these lights, but what we have in here is 6 different levels of growing space. Each level has spectrum adjustable lights. So you can see I have a demo set up here with one's in blue light, one's full red light, and I can basically control the light channels to be whatever color that I want it to be. So I have blue light, red light, infrared, and green light channels to be flexible with that lighting. I am getting this one licensed for cannabis, so very, very excited about what we can do with kind of light trials in cannabis specifically in this space.
It's like a club in that room.
Yeah.
Get some music.
In here is just kind of a potting post-harvest room. So have different equipment for measuring different things. So this one's used in our pepper trial right now. I can put a pepper down. It will go through this conveyor belt. It'll scan it, measure the weight or the size of that pepper, and then count how many have gone through and then weigh it on here. So it just makes data processing a whole lot faster. I have some drying ovens in the back for drying out tissues for different kind of biomass studies, things like that. And again, all the dirty work, all the cleaning and stuff is happening in this space. So I also have a growth chamber. So again, a lot of research done in universities comes out of these. So it's a very precise temperature, humidity controlled space. Do a lot of different propagation. We have different plants in here right now. It can grow tall plants, short plants, and I also have a kit that I can set this up for doing tissue culture studies as well in here. And this last one here is a little bit under construction right now, so I apologize. But this is our analytical lab. So what we've tried to do is basically take everything that you would do to send out samples to different labs, we can do in-house. So with all of the research you do here at Niagara College, we include students in all our research. So if you ever come to Niagara College, come on down and come check it out, because we can give you that hands-on experience, right? So I want to teach people the growing side as well as the lab side. And again, in a lot of educational things, part of it is finding out what kind of fits best for you, right? So do you like the lab side? Do you like the growing side? Are you kind of in between like me and you kind of like it all? So we have everything from cannabinoid analyzers here. I can analyze texture of peppers and different fruits and things like that to see how well they'll travel. I can test the sugar content, the acidity, lots of different leaf sensors, things like that. So I can look at kind of the color of leaf, how much they're photosynthesizing, different things like that. And I also have some equipment that's going in. There's some scaffolding over here right now, so that's where it's getting put in. But that will allow us to do kind of leaf tissue analysis, water analysis, and things like that going forward. So also genomics equipment. I got kind of a bit of everything in here. I like to joke around with people that it's kind of like a playground for plant nerds. It's like everything I always wished I could do at home, I now have the capabilities to both grow and test really anything that I can think of. So it's super exciting and really looking forward to kind of what we can do in this space.
Absolutely. It's amazing. And you're showing it all to a guy who stopped science in grade 10. So.
That's all right. It's never too old to learn.
That's it.
That's it. So yeah, thanks for coming checking it out, and really excited. If anybody's ever in the area, Niagara College, come on by the greenhouse and love to give you a tour in person.
Yeah, well, thanks, Scott. We really appreciate you doing this. And for those of you at home who are like, who's this guy that's been coming on the BudTrainer Lives? He is legit. This is what he is responsible for. He's set it up. He has a couple students helping him out, but it's more advanced than your typical home grow, everybody. So, all right, well, see you on the next one.